Welcome to our Hustle Dairy program, episode 4, and I am your host, Nancy Tracy. So, if you're watching us for the first time, uh, just subscribe for us and don't forget to like our Facebook page, Hustle Dairy. So, in this very episode 4, I'm joined by a Sidon guy whom I don't know his name. I don't even know his name. Maybe I've seen him for the second time or something. Yes. So I just want you to tell us your name. If you have nicknames, just tell us anything about you that you'd want the viewers to know.
Okay, my name is Edward Soko. Yeah, so I'm based in Siavonga and I'm a youth activist.
Okay, so this is Edward Soko and he is a youth activist. Wow. So, how long have you been in Siavonga?
In fact, I was actually born from here. I was born in 1996 at Siavonga District Hospital. So I'm actually born and bred in Siavonga.
Okay, that's an interesting story. That's an interesting part of you. Okay, so are you studying something, or if yes, what are you studying?
I'm actually studying engineering, mechanical and rail systems engineering at the Copperbelt University, and currently I'm in my 4th year.
Wow. So actually, Edward is an activist and he's studying engineering. He's in his 4th year at CBU.
Yes.
Wow. So actually, what inspired you to study engineering? Out of all the courses, you actually chose engineering. Did you have any inspiration? What happened? What made you choose?
Okay, engineering is a program that is interesting to begin with. It's so I had a passion to really jump into engineering because while I was in secondary school, I used to really enjoy sciences. That's chemistry, physics, as well as mathematics. Yeah, so it is from that background that I really felt, okay, maybe after school I would venture into engineering. Yeah, so I think that is where most of the interest is coming from.
Okay, so actually it's your ambition. You had it since it's just in you. You love sciences, you love physics, you love
Exactly.
engineering stuff.
I was actually into jets, so yeah,
awesome.
I won some jets Olympiads. So yeah,
Wow.
at that time I was doing ordinary sciences,
Okay.
and I had to beat people in natural sciences sort of. So
You actually beat those guys who are doing pure sciences.
pure sciences,
While
exactly.
you're doing just the natural, the normal sciences.
Exactly.
Wow, that's so genius of you.
Yeah,
That's
thank
so
you.
interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to ask if you're an activist yet, because you already told me you're an activist and all that. So there are actually a lot of youth activities in our country, and all of them have motives about helping out the society, speaking on their behalf, speaking out for themselves, and speaking to over and checks and balances to the government of the day, or help the society and the fellow youth to understand government policies and implementation. But mostly we end up seeing some becoming sellouts and stop doing what they are promised to do for the people. So are you different from these activities that we hear that are just failing people, or who actually will get compromised by money? They get enough money, they'll even change, they'll not even
they don't
stick
save.
to their promises.
Okay, well, that's a very critical question, because for sure there are most people that would go into activism, and once they get a few monies out of there, because when you want to save the people, you need to really choose what's the motivation towards you saving the people. Is it the money, or is it the passion? And mostly when you go to save the people because of the monies, most of the times you don't go very far. Okay, so you have to be driven by passion or by the love for the service. Okay, because I'm sure there's a saying that goes to say the best wealth you can give to people is by saving them. So in activism, personally, I'm in activism for the sake of the people. And the one thing that I have to make mention is that once you join or you venture in this route, it comes with a lot of consequences.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe in one or the other you contravene the law, or possibly people would, I'm sure you understand game theory, whereby you come out there, talk for people, others who naturally will react to that. Okay, so you might be sort of a target for different vices. So you have to really be determined to say, regardless of risks that are in such an environment, you have to be ready. It's not really an easy environment. It isn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
So beautiful. So, do you think you're different from these activities that we are seeing coming and going, and they get compromised by money? Do you think youths would trust you to be their voice?
Definitely. You know why I'm saying so?
Mm-hmm.
I think if there's something that I'm so proud of as a youth activist is with regard to the previous general elections.
Yeah.
I think when you look at the previous general elections,
Yeah.
we had the Patriotic Front and the UPND.
Yes.
If you look at the people that worked with the UPND, they were not given any monies,
Yeah.
but they worked with the UPND on the pretext to say it's just the message and the love for the people.
Oh yeah.
But for the PF, they were given so much monies.
Oh yeah.
So I made the sound decision to say I would rather work with these people that mean well for the country as opposed to getting a few coins. And I'm very proud of myself for making such a decision.
Okay.
Something that leaves me so proud.
So actually, that's so beautiful. Because look, you're actually different. You're very different.
Exactly.
You actually decided to work even if you're not given any money. You just decided to
Work
just
for the people.
voice out to this party that wasn't giving any money and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's really making you different. Like seriously, it's making you really different. So Mr. Soko, I believe that here in Siavonga, you came up with a youth group organization called Siavonga Youth Platform. Am I right?
Yes.
And as youth, we appreciate you guys. We
Okay.
really appreciate you.
Thank you.
And then it's such a great initiative in Siavonga especially. So what really motivated you to come up with such a platform?
Such a platform.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Very important question. Yeah, so one thing that motivated me in coming up with the Siavonga District Youth Platform is the issue of social awareness. Okay? I realized there was a gap between the youths and the civic leaders. Okay? So what do we say when we say there's a gap? You find that the activities of first of all, you have to understand that in districts, we don't have youth, officers that deal with matters of the youths.
Yeah.
So now there was that gap. We can only have maybe a provincial youth coordinator and not a district coordinator. So because of that gap, most of issues that affected the youths were not taken care of. Okay, because of that gap created by the government, of course, maybe because of manpower and whatnot, but it is on the provincial level. So for the youths to really get those services, it means they could get them only from the provincial. You've seen the gap.
Yeah,
and
there's a great gap.
There's a great gap, and the district leadership, the civic leadership, was not doing enough.
Yeah.
Of course, they had other responsibilities. So when I actually saw that together with a few others, we realized it's important that we form this group, okay, that is going to give social awareness to the youths, make the youths understand what their responsibilities are in a society or in a community like this one, which is Siavonga to be particular, and also ensure that we bring the district leadership to task. We sort of close the gap. If the youths have got challenges, they pass the challenges through us. We present them to the district leadership. Equally, the district leadership reciprocates that chain. They tell us, then we talk to the youths. I think that was the motivation. Okay, that was really the motivation.
Wow, so amazing. Actually, the youth Siavonga Youth Platform, can you just, what is it all about? Just a simple description, just maybe 3, or making it in a short form, maybe
Short form.
3 words or 4 words, just describing it.
Okay.
Shortcut, like.
Okay. The Siavonga
What is it
District
all
Youth
about?
Platform is, I would say, basically it's a youth group that advocate for youth civic engagement or involvement.
Wow, that's actually a short description and it's clear, very clear in it.
Thank you.
Could you just kindly share, let me just maybe two visions of your organization, just maybe the visions or your aims to, like, for you guys, to the aims that you want to fulfill in this group?
Okay, so
Just two.
the two aims. I'll try to talk about also the challenges, because
Okay.
we've got aims as well as in
Yeah.
trying to achieve our aims, there are challenges
Yeah.
there. Okay, so one of our aims is to really intensify social awareness. Okay,
Okay.
so what do we mean by intensifying social awareness? We want to make sure that we help youths understand the roles of civic leaders. What really bothers me is, mostly what bothers me is when I find a youth like you or me,
Yeah.
blaming the MP, the area member of parliament, for a job that is supposed to be done by a council chairperson, or a job that is supposed to be done by a councillor, a ward councillor. So it bothers me so much, because it's an issue of the civic. We want to bring the civic awareness, the social awareness, so that youths can begin to understand.
Yeah.
And that would also help, in terms of translating into them making sound decisions. Okay, so that is a very fundamental thing. And also, the second one is just to ensure that youths participate in developmental issues in the district. Let us also, because youths, by virtue of being youths, they are the largest demography in the district. Okay, they are a lot. So meaning most of the decisions that are made affects them most. What do we do? So we want the youths to also, their voices to be heard on issue platforms where plans or decisions are made in the district with regard to the district affairs.
Wow.
So those are the two fundamental things.
Wow.
The youths need to understand the roles of the civic leaders, their roles also as youths and responsibilities in the district. Number two, they need to understand, they need to really participate in issues of development. That way we can now talk about reducing issues of bad vices such as alcohol and illicit drugs, as well as other prostitution and stuff like that. We can reduce it if we have youths, busy in civic issues.
Wow.
Yeah, so basically those are the two fundamental things. I don't know if I should explain the challenges that we've really faced.
Actually, no.
Not now?
Not now.
Okay.
I just want you to tell us if there is any achievement that you have acquired so far in the organization.
Okay.
Anything that you have seen that has changed since you started this group.
Okay.
Siavonga Youth
Okay.
Platform.
There's quite a lot of...
Maybe one.
Just one?
Yeah.
Okay, there's quite a lot of achievements, but as per your requirement, I'll just mention one. I think the achievement that I've seen is both from the youths and also the civic leaders. By the way, I need to make mention that the civic leaders, especially the council, okay, these people are really, they are willing to work with the people.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just that probably they don't come to the people, but when you approach them, they are hospitable, they are really good people. Okay. So one achievement that I can say there's an achievement is basically, I've seen us as an organization working closely with the council.
Wow.
Okay, so I think that is an achievement.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is an achievement. We're involved in integrated planning for the district. Wow. So we sent our youth representatives there to be sitting in that meeting. Okay, so those are things that I would say we'll begin, be proud of as an institution.
That's really a great achievement.
Yes.
Like, it's just you're just starting and it's already great.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how does the youth in Munyama and other youth across the district who has got a talent either in singing, acting, or something else benefit from your organization? That a person that is not from here, from this area,
Okay.
how would that person benefit
From the
from your
organization.
organization?
Okay, what we do is we are trying to, right now, we have 10 wards in the district.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are trying to broaden our base. We want to have youth representative across board. Okay, so right now we only have youth representative in Simamba and Manchaho. Okay, so we have about 8 wards because Manchaho is inland and lakeshore. So we have a representative in that's lakeshore.
Wow.
As well as Mr. Limpo is our representative, a chairperson for the youths under the umbrella of the Siavonga Youth Platform in Simamba.
Wow.
So what we are trying to do is we want even Munyama, Namuzunga, Chimata, we want to have representative across board so that when we speak as Siavonga District Youth Platform, we can well represent all the wards. We speak with the same voice.
Wow.
Okay, because we don't want this organization just to be for the youths here.
Yeah.
We want to also speak on behalf of the youth that is far in Manchawa inland.
Wow. So you have actually divided yourselves. You want to make sure every
Across board.
across the district you have representatives.
Exactly.
That's awesome. It's like that organization is really working orderly, like there's order.
And thank you
and
very
you're
much.
making sure everyone is catered.
Sure.
That's awesome. So do you have any interest in politics, or rather you're a politician?
An interest in politics.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, when you talk about politics, basically what I would say is maybe in a long run I would join active politics, okay, per se. But one of the things, my principle, how I believe in the way I work is you don't have to be a politician for you to positively, contribute in the district setup, okay? You don't necessarily have to hold public office. Let's say you be a council chairman, be an area member of parliament, or even a councillor. You don't need that, okay? An individual just like me can just, within the legal route, work and help the district like that. Wow. So if I'll be able to positively contribute in the district affairs just in a capacity as Edward Soko, I think there would be no need for me to join active politics.
Wow. Yeah. That's positive thinking.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's really amazing. Okay, so the last really question. If today you are a leader here in Siavonga constituency, okay, what 2 things would you like to change?
Okay, if I was elected, actually, if I were a leader in Siavonga constituency, okay, when you look at Siavonga in a nutshell, it's a place that has a lot of potential across all the areas. Talk about tourism, fish industry, the mining industry, okay. Even just the industrial part of Siavonga, you have Zesco there, and okay, if the companies like Yalelo and the others that are coming up. Okay, so one thing that I would do, number one, is ensure that, especially now, because now, if I was elected now, yes, because there is the policy, that is policy direction by His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, whereby he's talking about decentralization policy. I'm very much particular of decentralization policy because it allows a district like ours to really be sort of full-fledged to make decisions that are going to benefit the district first of all. Okay, so I think issues of water. To be honest, I don't, if I was elected, I don't think Siavonga would really be having issues of water shortages. It goes over a week. And now, in this case, it goes even over 5 months, not so. So I don't think those should be issues that we can be discussing if I'm elected leader.
Wow.
So how do we do? I would ensure planning is done proactively.
Yeah.
Okay, if you are going to realize that you want to add more people, connect more people to the water base,
Yes.
you have to plan also to ensure that you increase your capacity so that you can supply to these people. Okay, then also there are a lot of institutions here, companies, I think they are not doing enough in terms of social corporate responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would try to understand, of course not interfering because these guys are in business.
Yeah.
So I would try to understand what are they making at the end of the year. Okay, what are their annual profit.
Yeah.
How does that annual profit really translate into helping the district?
Yes.
Let's say Yalero, for the sake of argument, it's making maybe 4 billion okay, per year. Then in their social corporate responsibility, they are only giving maybe Siavonga 200,000. I would say they are not doing enough. Irrespective of the taxes that they pay here and there, I would say it's not enough. Equally across Ala Aqua and whatnot, I think those are the fundamental areas that I would look at. Then the issue of employment. Okay, so I would make sure that a mechanism is put in place so that we have employment for the local people. Okay, I would make sure that they employ the local people. Okay, how do we make sure that they employ the local people? We ensure that issues like CDF, we ensure that a trade center, maybe a trade training center is a must. It comes. Okay, we shouldn't have a situation where we postponed issues like a college in here. Okay, let us have engineers here so that they can benefit from, let's say, ZESCO. ZESCO is a power plant, but we don't have engineers of our own here.
Yeah, they're from outside.
From outside, you've seen. ZESCO has done a school. We appreciate them. They've done Siavonga Secondary School. I'm sure you're aware of that.
Yeah.
But I think a trade school or a college would act, because they're making quite a lot of money from Siavonga. That's why, again, I want to draw you back. It's the decentralization policy.
Yes.
Let's give the power to the leaders.
Yes.
Okay? And it's important that the president, Mr. Akainde Hichilema, is actually doing this. Okay, he wants to give the power to our leaders. Okay, so let's give the power to our leaders so that even the council, let's make use of the bylaws. Okay, you are a council chairman, you need to make sure that the customary laws, you make them, trigger them. Let's make laws that are going to benefit the people, not you just become a messenger. Okay, it's sort of your job on training. You don't know what you're doing in an office. It shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, it shouldn't be like that. So that is the most cardinal thing that I would do.
Wow.
Jobs for the local people. Make sure that the decentralization policy is really felt. Okay, it should be felt. People need to benefit from what these companies are making. We shouldn't be getting a spoon of somebody comes, makes the whole cake, and they just give you a teaspoon. It shouldn't be like that.
Okay.
And people need to realize that they are entitled, in a way, to really have these dividends. Okay. Somebody shouldn't give you a spoon and you're clapping for them that they have done the most when you should have gotten 3/4 or a quarter of that. Okay. Yeah. So that is number one. Then number two, I would ensure that the youths, because I'm passionate about the youths, the artists, these youths with different skills. I would ensure that there's a deliberate policy that would really help them. Okay, we need to ensure that we emphasize on them owning business, because you know what it is when you own a business, I own a business, that other person own the business, we then increase the revenue base for the council. Okay, once we increase the revenue base for the council, meaning the council will have more money to do provide services that they're supposed to provide to a community. So we need to ensure that we encourage youths with different skills, empower them. We empower the youths, they have different skills and own businesses. Once they own businesses, like maybe let me just to closing it up. let's say the country is, let's say, is in debt. Huh?
Yeah.
We are owing maybe China, for the sake of argument, maybe 12 billion. Okay, you need to be aware that 12 billion, there's also a ration of a debt that you as an individual is supposed to pay.
Yeah.
So we have to make you productive so that you are able, if let's say your part as let's say the population of Siavonga, we have maybe 60,000 people.
Yes.
So let's say Siavonga in itself, they have to pay maybe 100 million. We further divided 60 over the 100 million. Let's say you're supposed to pay maybe let's say 200,000 as an individual.
Yes.
So we need to make you productive so that we start from the individual level. If you are able to pay the 200,000, meaning as a country, as a district, will be able to pay the 100 million, and as a country at a later stage, if it's done across all the provinces, and we'll be able to pay the 12 billion. So
without remaining in crisis.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So that's one thing that I would really also look into.
Okay, so that's really amazing. So actually, we are concluding.
Sure.
Just give us maybe just a short advice on the youth and leaders on the people of Siavonga. Just an advice, like anything you want to tell us, anything you want to ask here.
Okay,
just maybe in five words.
Okay, so for the youths, I advise you to work with a civic leadership. Okay, be productive. Make sure that you appreciate the leaders that you have. Okay, put them to task. Okay, push them to task. Let them provide the services, because these leaders are supposed to do it.
Wow.
Okay, they're supposed to do it.
So your advice for us is that we should put the leaders. We should work with our leaders. We should put them to task.
Hold them accountable.
Accountable.
That's when you're going to appreciate. You're going to make the most of your leaders if you hold them accountable. They are capable.
Okay.
It's just that sometimes they relax because you don't push them to task.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us to this wonderful program.
Thank you very much.
You're really amazing. You really have a lot of ideas, a lot of ways to say, a lot of things.
No, thank you very much for hosting me as well, and wish you the best as you grow.
Yeah, we really appreciate your presence.
Sure.
So thank you for tuning in to Hustle Diary episode 4. Thank you for watching. Just don't forget to subscribe and like our Facebook page, Hustle Diary. See you on the next interview. Just don't forget to tune in, please.